Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are going to be talking everything you need to know about summer.
It's my favorite season.
Right. Are you, well, speaking from a summer, but like if you're blonde, is your hair going like yellow or is it going very cool? We're going to determine if your blonde is cool versus warm, if it falls in the summer, the spring palette, if you're going gray. Are you a summer? Are you still in transition to a summer? We're going to talk about that today. And we're also going to be talking hair shades of summer, eye colors of summer, a really good trick to finding hair eye colors. And then what else am I forgetting?
Well,
Skin tones.
we actually at the end, we'll give you a little, if you love these colors, then you're this. If you love these colors, then you're summer. And we'll work our way through the 4 seasons. So those of you who are new with us will actually learn a little bit about all 4 seasons, but mostly this is for blondes. And I don't know about you, but many blondes tell us that they go to the hair salon and they'll walk out of the hair salon one day and they'll be a summer. And then they go back to get their roots done or get their, get a kind of a refresh, and they'll be a spring. And there's this, and you see it on TV.
That
Sarah.
flip-flop.
Yeah. Like if you were to go look at blondes right now on Google, famous ones, Reese Witherspoon, who are some others?
Margot Robbie. Yeah. She flip-flops a lot.
Yeah. So you might see her as a cool blonde or a warm blonde. Well, if so, do you realize that if you go from warm blonde to cool blonde, your season changes, meaning you're in all the colors that you look good in change? Mind blown. So we're going to deal with that today.
Right. And that gets really tricky. But we first need to figure out, are you a summer? So going into it.
Subscribe.
Oh, don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. We have to make sure that you subscribe because we're going to do this with all the seasons.
I love how I just try to steamroll everything. And I'm like, let's get into it. And you're like, subscribe. Well, please subscribe.
The part you love is sharing all
the
this
good
info.
Stuff. Not the subscribe.
All right. So I'm going to not interrupt you again. You go ahead, my dear.
Well, starting off, we know based off the 4 seasons system, okay? We're talking 4 seasons here. You are a summer if you are soft and cool. So all of your features are lighter, softer, more delicate, more frosty, more sugar-coated.
Yes, light and cool. So let's say that your hair's light because that's easy. I mean, except when you hit that kind of medium range.
I was going to say that medium ash gets tricky.
Here's a tip. If you're not sure your hair is light, it's not. So as you get to that medium range, err on the side of deep.
And remember, this is the 4 seasons system.
Because we're going to work you through, and that's why we said hit that subscribe button, because we're going to work you through a system that will get you pinpointed into the perfect palette all the way into a 12 or a 16 palette system.
Right. And those hair colors shift a little bit more when we're talking through that.
Having said that, light and cool. Now, those of you who are new to us, is that right? How do you tell if you're cool? You look for red or gold highlights. If you do not see any, you're cool. Easy peasy.
Right. And we're talking red to gold, meaning orange hue, not a burgundy hue, not a blue hue to it. Okay.
Yeah. So orangish or golden, yellowish. But if you see none of that, if your hair is ash, well, let's list the shades that are typically summers. You got them?
I mean, you already started with ash blonde.
Yes.
That's a typical summer, without a doubt.
Light, cool blonde with no golden or red, yellow undertones.
Any of that.
None of it. Ash brown has to be light to medium ash brown.
Platinum blonde. That's going to be another one.
I'm thinking about going platinum blonde, by the way.
But remember, your platinum blonde is it's softer, so it has a little bit more dimension to it. We're not talking
white.
Right. We're not talking like
Pamela
Anderson, right? She's like famous platinum blonde.
Oh, I was thinking Pink.
Oh,
yes. The singer Pink.
Yeah. She usually has.
It goes really white.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think her skin, and I've seen her in some like lavender hair before too. So that would soften it though.
But
okay,
pure white. We're not talking pure white.
No.
Generally, summer hair is described, if you were describing me to someone that you know and telling them, hey, you got to check out Color Class because it is so much fun to watch, right? You're telling them that. And there's this one girl, she's the daughter, and she has red hair. And the mom, she has grayish hair, kind of grayish. That's the clue. You're a summer. If somebody has to describe your hair as ish, grayish.
That means it has dimension. That means there's something that's not pure in there.
And also the streaking, like I'm the mom, as I said, I used to have her color hair. Exactly. And if you look at my hair today, like Sarah has found some, you will see strands of that.
Like one red strand. Randomly.
Yes, like I think it's back here, right here.
That one hair that's holding on.
Yeah, it hasn't changed over yet. So the bottom line is, in hair like mine and summer hair, you got lots of different colors.
Yes.
So the soft muted blonde, light to medium brown, and this is kind of the same as ash. So I don't know, why I'm saying this, except that perhaps it might be a little bit more toward brown than ash. But if it's not red or gold highlights, you're still good.
If a hairdresser has labeled your hair as ash in any way, shape, or form, yeah, you're going to be on the cooler side.
And then those of us who are summers, we generally avoid golden, brassy colors being put on our hair. I have made some really bad hair choices. Well, it wasn't my choice. It was the colors.
We've all had them.
I guess. But if Sarah made kind of an iffy decision on her hair and went a little bit redder, a little bit more auburn, she can pull it off. If my hair goes the slightest bit yellow, I look like a scarecrow. It's just horrible. So those of us who are summers, you avoid anything with golden or red undertones like the plague. In fact, I told this new stylist, I remember this like it was yesterday. Do you remember this story?
Yes.
Don't let my hair go yellow, please. Under no circumstances. No yellow, no red. Oh my goodness. No, 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 no. So she's doing my hair and she's all happy and she's like, takes it out and she's blow drying it. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, my hair was purple. And I was like, my hair is purple. And she was like, yeah, you said you didn't want any gold or red. And I was like, but I didn't say that I wanted purple. And she goes, oh, don't worry about it. And here, this is an interesting tip. I was blown away by this. She goes, all I have to do is put the flat, I'd said I wanted it flat iron. I'll put the flat iron on it. The purple will go away instantly. It did. So if you have a color mistake, flat iron your hair instantly. Don't let it, they say let it sit. Don't wash it for a day, whatever.
Yeah, because the heat damages the color. So,
well, if you want that color damaged, if you want it off of there, hit it with a flat iron. It worked like a charm.
Right.
And then I ended up with a hair color that I could live with.
Yeah.
And do not ever, people might be tempted to call your hair mousy. Don't ever accept that.
We had somebody who commented that said they'd rather their hair be called mousy than ish. Because we were talking about if your hair is ish. Like, we prefer the term ish over mousy. But somebody commented and said they prefer mousy.
Well, if you prefer mousy, that's fine. But I then immediately think of rodents. And I have a pathological aversion.
You do have a fear of rodents.
To rodents. I cannot. She was never able to have a hamster as a pet. Never.
Oh, do I have stories?
You do have stories. I have some stories too about my college days and a rat. Bottom line, if you want to call your hair mousy, call it mousy, but I prefer ash.
Yeah.
Summer eye color. Now, summer eye color, it's kind of fascinating. I think all eyes are fascinating. I think.
I mean, they're all unique. They're
yeah,
all
and these orbs. They're glassy and they look like a work of art, like, Murano glass or something. I think eyes are beautiful.
Right.
But summer eyes are soft eyes. In other words, with a winter blue eye, you see clearly like the striations, the the sun rays out from the iris. I'm sorry, from the pupil. There's a lot of contrast there. Ding, ding, ding. Very contrasty. Summers are the opposite, low contrast. So if you're looking at a summer eye, what you're going to see is that those striations, they're soft. You can't, they're kind of blended in. If you were doing a pastel drawing of somebody's eye, their iris, and you put in those striations. If you were doing a winter eye, those striations would be very clear and defined, in your drawing.
Right.
But with a summer eye, you have to go back with your blender, in my case, my finger, and just sort of subtly kind of smush out those striations so that they look softer. That's a summer eye. It's always soft. Almost like it has a cloudy texture to it.
I was going to say that cloudy.
Not bad cloudy, but just a little bit like cloudy
Smudgy.
Or crackled glass.
Yeah. I feel like crackled glass, though, is pretty high contrast. What is something that's like softer? That's
well, I just think
ishy eyes.
Well, it's same, and I think the thing, if you imagine drawing that eye,
right,
and then using a blender to blend in those striations, just ever so, that's going to be your summer eye, and then. The rim that goes around the eye, I'm not going to mention the actual technical name of it because she goes insane.
You know what? We Googled it. It is called the areola.
As I said.
You can use it.
As I said. Anyway, the ring around the eye, technically called the areola.
Right.
On a summer person, the definition between that and the sclera, the white of the eye, it's smudged. It's not really clear. In other seasons, like the autumn or the winter, you'll see a clearer definition between the iris and the sclera. Eye colors for summers. We have soft blue.
Yeah.
But they always have a grayish tint. Again, let's talk about, my father was a portrait painter, so I speak in those terms. If you were painting somebody's eye, you would basically add a little bit of gray to the blue, so it has a grayish tint. The eye of a summer eye can be soft gray, just plain out soft gray. If it's a green eye, it's a cooler green. It's more of a teal, like hers or mine. You can have a soft hazel eye. Soft, soft, soft. That word, I keep using it. It keeps coming up. It's always soft. You can even have a soft brown eye.
Yes. Very cool brown.
But soft. Blended, almost looking like somebody. All I can say is if you're painting that person, you're using that blender a lot and making everything really soft.
Maybe like blurry a little bit? Is that the proper?
Maybe.
Slightly
a little out
blurred.
of focus.
Right.
But you get the idea. I mean, you're kind of with us on that. And then summers have some common skin colors. I have been told, since I've been doing these videos, that my skin tone is not the typical summer. That I'm a little bit warmer.
Right.
I think that perhaps I look a little warmer because maybe, I use some sunless tan in the summer.
Our lighting is slightly warmer.
True. But you want to do the hand thing?
Oh, yes.
But really, in point of fact, I'm cooler than she is. So as I aged, I had her hair color and her skin tone. And as I've aged, my pigment, the pigment in my skin, the pigment in my hair has retired.
Yes.
It's
softened.
Yeah, it's gone elsewhere. And now I'm the cool one. You see here, much cooler. And she's the warm one.
Right. I was going to say what's funny though is like her shoulders are much more tan than mine. Your overall is much. Now I warm myself up with foundation drops just because I am cooler and I need something to match this big red hair. But she definitely was a tan girly before the proper sun requirements came out.
That's why we have to show you the inside of my hand rather than anything else because, like she said, my shoulders. And this one, the number on her sunscreen is SPF thermonuclear.
Right.
She uses sunscreen like, there's no tomorrow.
Yes. Just let me bathe in it and I'd be good. That's all I need.
So, skin tones. I'm a light beige. However, another fun story. We were doing I know I like to go off topic. We were doing a color analysis book, a color portfolio for a lady. And we like to get a lot of information from our clients because we believe that there's a self-color image and then the image that we see from the outside. Right. And that's true. That is real. And so we get a lot of information coming in. And this lady mentioned that her foundation shade and her clear concealer shade are identical to the ones that I use.
Right.
Interestingly enough, she was a deep winter. So I'm going to tell you these skin tones and give them to you with a grain of salt because skin tone can be all over the place. That we put much more emphasis on hair color, some emphasis on eye color, but when you get down to the skin tone, like you just saw with Sarah and I, it can be all over the place. So I'm going to tell you some things. Take them with a grain of salt. This is not a deal breaker. Okay. Generally, they say that summers have cool undertones.
Right. Of course.
Right. Fair to light skin. Soft beige or light olive.
Yep.
But it always has a soft, muted quality. So you think light, but I mean, I'm a soft beige, but there was a deep winter who was also a soft beige.
Right.
So
Maria. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let it kind of, let that, push that aside a little bit and really focus on the hair and the eyes.
Yes. Those are usually the giveaways anyway.
Always.
Speaking of giveaways, this is where we really get into the am I a summer or a winter? Both are cool.
This or that.
But right, this is where we start to pick up those nuances to determine.
And it's hard sometimes because different seasons blend into other different seasons. Like
every season is a sister season.
Yeah. Like autumn, her, summer, me, but we're both soft. So how do you tell if somebody is soft warm or soft cool, meaning autumn or summer? So what if you're kind of in the middle, or what if you're not sure if you're a warm version or a cool version? Do you look good in brown? Could you wear pumpkin?
I was going to say brown is tricky because a soft brown can look good on a summer. A warm golden brown can look good on an autumn.
But this one isn't tricky. Soft gold. Can you wear soft gold? If you can wear it and look good in it, you are not a summer. On the other hand, if you look good in gray versus soft gold.
Or, what's a really good word we could use?
What?
Pewter. Pewter versus soft gold.
I like it. If you look good in pewter versus soft gold, pewter is the summer color. Soft gold is the autumn color.
Yeah, kind of like a dustier grayish, light gray with some softness.
And autumns can't wear gray. I'm sorry, they just can't. Now, if you're not, just again, off topic, if you're an autumn and you're saying, I love gray, why are you telling me I can't wear my favorite color? Everybody can wear everything. It's just nuances, right? She can wear gray if it's a greeny, mossy, derivative kind of gray. So don't worry. We're not taking anything away from you, promise. Stick with us and we'll work you through it.
Right.
Now, spring and summer, also sister seasons. Why? Because spring is light and summer is what? Light.
They're both light.
Right. But springs will look good in marigold.
Yeah. Like a bright yellow gold. Okay.
Yeah.
Very bright, intense.
And when I put that on, I look like Halloween has come and I am playing, death's door.
Well, you're going to go yellow. That's the problem.
Well, I go a little yellow, but I also go pale and get these purple circles under my eyes that, I have a problem with circles under my eyes anyway, but then they go deep and purple and it's like,
right, the contrast.
Right, I become the crypt keeper. So I stay away from marigold, that kind of family. But I can do a rose pink instead, and I'm pretty happy with it. Or buff. Sometimes if I want to head in that direction, I can still wear that. But again, what are these? Very soft.
Yes.
Now, summer, winter. Again, how can summer and winter be sister seasons? Because they're both cool. They share the coolness. So how do you know if you know you're cool, how do you know if you're a summer or winter? Well, if you're a winter, you look great in black. You look great in pure white, and you look great in magenta, jewel tones, anything that's got a lot of pure primary color in it. Just nothing muted, nothing softened. Whereas the summer looks good in periwinkle, soft white, soft blue, and I'm going to keep saying these colors, and they're going to say soft green, soft blue, soft because your colors have to be soft.
Right.
And the winter colors have to be clear and pure and punchy. And that's how you tell the difference between winter and summer.
So, I mean, down to it. If you look good in a gray, like a medium tone gray, mauve, gray, blue, then you're most likely a summer.
And I have a question for you guys out there, because again, I'm going off topic a little bit, but the pronunciation of mauve or mauve. How many of you out there say mauve? You can just say number one for mauve. And if you say mauve, just put a little number 2 in your comments.
I'm definitely a 2.
She's a 2. I'm a 1. So maybe, it was art school. I don't know. But which is the correct pronunciation?
It's mauve. Since we're on the topic of is it mauve or mauve?
Survey on Patreon.
Don't forget to hop on over to Patreon.
Yeah, we should do that.
Because I am absolutely going to keep saying mauve.
And I'm going to keep saying mauve.
No, team mauve.
And team mauve. We'll put it
Absolutely
on Patreon too. We'll do a survey on Patreon.
All
so
right,
meet us
now,
over there.
Yeah, we've been getting some questions about what is Patreon. It's just kind of like a hangout chat group where it's a bunch of people who love color analysis. And then you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then lastly, what do I always forget? Oh, here on YouTube, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. I should have said subscribing last because we need you to share. We know a lot of you are not subscribing and sharing. So don't forget to do that. We see you. All right. So thank you for joining us today. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.